Athens, Georgia, on a sweltering late August afternoon. They've spread the red here. Between the hedges, the dog walk led by Todd Gurley, the All-American. Hudson Mason making his first start in his home state, in his home stadium. And Cole Stout on the road making his first start for the Clemson Tigers. Vic Beasley says all day he'll be trying to control Todd Gurley and company all day. The Tigers and the Dogs in Athens next. And we welcome you to ESPN's College Football Primetime. Packed house of 92,000 plus between the hedges for the number 16 Clemson Tigers and the 12th ranked Bulldogs of Georgia. It is hot and humid, as you would expect in late August in the South. 93 degrees. Georgia won the toss and deferred. Marshall Morgan will tee it up. TJ Green and CJ Davidson await the kick on the other end. Here we go. C.J. Davidson 3 yards deep. Davidson out across the 25 and out to the 30-yard line. Against T.J. Green. And a nice return. So Cole Stout gets his chance out of Dublin, Ohio.
You know, the interesting thing, one of the interesting things about Cole Stout taking over compared to when Taj Boyd took over in 2011. When Taj took over, that was Chad Morris's first year as the coordinator, so he was learning a new system. Cole Stout has been in Chad Morris's system for the last 3 years. He's very familiar with it, very comfortable with it, running the offense.
A fly sweep. Georgia trying to stretch it out, and they will. Adam Humphries, he is going to lose about 2, but not Damian Swann. He's making his 29th start, but now Clemson with a flag down. He's got a man free down the sideline, and it is Mike Williams.
I think the flag's going to be Damian Swann offsides. He blitzed from the short corner, and again, Cole Stout, his first start on the road, but he was very quick in recognizing that blitz off the short corner and kept his poise and made the play.
You got the call right, Todd. Stout in the gun, play action. Throws rolling to his left to the corner of the end zone, and it's caught, but is he out of bounds? Jamon Hopper almost had a touchdown.
But you see the mentality of Clemson in their offense. It's attack. So what if this is our quarterback's first start? We are going to attack this Georgia defense. Last year, this defense had a lot of problems, particularly in the back end. 7 different combinations of defensive backs started games for Georgia. New coordinator. Clemson is going right after him.
That was a heck of a throw rolling to his left. And now he's going to come back with a middle screen. Had the blockers out there, but he didn't have his running back hold on to it. DJ Howard couldn't hold it. There's the new defensive coordinator for Georgia, Jeremy Pruitt.
Well, you talk about a fast rising star.
Wow.
I mean, it was just a few years ago he was coaching high school. A few years at Alabama with Nick Saban. Last year, the coordinator of Florida State's national championship defense. Wanted to get back in the SEC and spent 1 year in Tallahassee, and now he's here in Athens, Georgia.
3rd down and long. First time Clemson's been in that situation. Stout, plenty of time. Now he's going to run with it, and he's going to get there and a lot more. And Stout with a slide down to the 16-yard line. First down, Clemson. Cole Stout, 2 runs on 3rd down already on this drive. 3rd and goal here. Touchdown, Clemson. DJ Howard. No, wait a minute. I thought he was in. Stop short. Down the sideline with his helmet on top of his head as the offense comes back out. Kurt Fleming does come in, though, as an extra back, a fullback at 230 pounds. So far on this drive, the best running back the Tigers have had has been their quarterback. And he's under center, but he'll hand it off. And Touchdown, D.J. Howard. So Clemson strikes first. So a guy that's been waiting his entire career to hear his name called as a starting quarterback from Marietta, Georgia. He told us Hudson Mason gets his call. He had 2 starts last year after Aaron Murray got hurt, but one was on the road and one was a bowl game.
And just like Cole Stout showed, the key early on is to play within yourself and play within your offense. Clemson had great balance in that first drive. 7 runs and 5 passes. Georgia's going to want to establish that run and get Todd Gurley involved. Keith Marshall, who's healthy after a knee injury. This is an offense that has a wealth of talent at the running back position. They're a little banged up at wide receiver, but they've got healthy talent lined up at the running back position.
Todd Gurley, the tailback in the eye, had his career high last year against Clemson in the opener. Mason throws out complete and short gain out to Chris Conley. Hudson Mason in the shotgun with 3 wideouts on a 3rd and long. 3rd and 9 for Georgia. Going to throw the screen out to Gurley, and Clemson's all over it. Another loss, this time of 5. And Grady Jarrett, Georgia native who played lights out against Georgia last year, comes up with a big play here. Pruitt, the defensive coordinator with Florida State with their national championship team last year. As you take a look, they led the country in 3 different categories and 2nd and 3rd in the others.
Well, they had a couple guys get drafted off of that defense too. They had a lot of talent. He did a great job. He inherited a good defense that Mark Stoops built.
Stout over the middle, and it's knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
That's a huge 3 and out for the Georgia defense. They needed that at that point in time. That's exactly the kind of stop that they needed defensively.
Good field position, though, now for the Dogs with their 2nd offensive set here at the 43-yard line. Sony Michel, the freshman, on the end around, and he's got 11 and a first down. We knew we were going to see him early.
And in some different spots. So, you know, they told us, Mike Bobo said, we got to get this guy the football. He's got great vision and balance, and he's got the skill set to move out and play wide receiver some. They get the ball in his hands, he makes a big play for him.
Sony, along with Nick Chubb, 2 highly touted running backs, roommates, as they came to Georgia. And, of course, they're backing up 2 great ones in Gurley and Marshall. They fake it to him here, and Mason got a man on the sideline. And it's complete. Michael Bennett, tightrope on the sideline.
Great job by Bennett. Feet on the sideline, but a beautiful throw by Mason. Watch him throw to the back shoulder away from the incoming defender. He throws it away from the defense. You just need 1 foot down.
And again, Georgia looks to the sideline to get the call and up to the ball at the 23. They give it off to Gurley. Gurley's got the corner. Gurley's got the end zone. Touchdown, Georgia. Taylor Maxey led the way, and once Gurley got the corner, he knew he had the end zone. Only took 5 plays. Todd Gurley, the preseason All-American, got a block on the corner. 23 yards later, Clemson 7, Georgia 7, between the hedges. And if Georgia gets a stop here on 3rd down and 7, this place is going to light up again. Stout, nice throw, and he didn't hold on to that one either. And a fired up Jeremy Pruitt meets his defense halfway to the hash mark.
Well, Quincy Mauger that time, a backup safety, just times the hit. Mike Williams this time looks it in, but he doesn't tuck it in. And Mauger's able to knock the ball loose. So back-to-back plays for Mike Williams. And that's a guy that's got to get his confidence back on the sideline, because those are 2 plays he needs to make.
Can't throw him any better than that. Keith Marshall hurt his knee against Tennessee early in the season last year, so back healthy here, and blocking for Mason, who's going deep. Man out there, and broken up, and a flag. Chris Conley, the intended receiver, but we're going to have pass interference.
Pass interference for 18. Defense, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
DJ Dar Johnson is running like crazy from the backside of the formation to get there to make a play. But because the ball's underthrown, the receiver stops and slows down, and Johnson doesn't know where the ball is and continues to run in to the intended receiver.
So first down, Georgia by penalty at the 26-yard line. Play fake. Mason's going right back to the corner, and this one broken up. Reggie Davis, the intended receiver, and another flag. This one might be on Jenkins. I thought it hit Jenkins in the back of the helmet. I'm not sure where that ball landed.
And I thought he was in good position. The question is, did he have his hands on the receiver as they were running down the field? It's okay until the ball's in the air, but once the ball's thrown, you can't do it.
Pass interference, number 14, defense. 15-yard penalty for the previous spot, automatic first down.
4 wide receivers set here for Hudson Mason. Looks right, comes back to the left on a wide receiver screen, and Bennett lost the ball. Scrambling for it. Was he down? He was. So it's going to bring up third down.
Ruling on the field was that the runner was down. That play is under further review.
So the last play under review.
After further review, ball was out and lost possession prior to the runner being down. There was a clear recovery by Clemson. First down.
Wow. That is a huge, huge play. And one of the biggest replays of the opening college football weekend.
Georgia looks mixed up defensively. They have 2 receivers out to the left. Only 1 defender right now. Here they come running out.
Stout. Deep ball. Got a man. Broken up at the last moment back there in the secondary by Reggie Carter.
Yeah, that was
Sharon
a great
Peak
play.
had a step back there.
That was a great play by Carter. Again, they looked a little bit out of position on alignment. They ran out late, and credit Carter for not giving up on the play. Another well-thrown ball could have been a catch, but Carter rips his arm in there and fights the ball out.
Now it's third down and 7. Georgia would leave the hold and get the ball back after that controversial fumble. Here comes a blitz. Stout going to go down inside the 5. I think Damian Swann is the guy that caused the commotion on the blitz.
Boy, really well-designed blitz, timed blitz. Remember, Damian Swann jumped off sides early on a blitz. This time he times it perfect. This disrupts the pocket, and then they're able to collapse. It was kind of a zone blitz, so Lorenzo Carter showed blitz, and he dropped into coverage, and Damian Swann, the timing is what made the play for Georgia.
Bradley Pinion doesn't have a lot of room right here to field this snap and try to get the punt away. But Georgia's got the return on. And it'll be Reggie Davis from the 46. And he's got it back to the 36.
I think they got to go back to feed number 3 here. Great field position. Give it to your big guy here and let him try to run the football.
Here's a toss to Gurley with a fullback in front again. And Gurley down the sideline punishing people as he goes.
Give it to him
shove
again.
at the end.
Give it to him again.
He's done well against non-SEC teams. He's done well against SEC teams. Third down and 2. Mason, quick throw, got it to Bennett in the slot, and Bennett's got it first and goal just outside the 1. He held on to that one.
Perfect timing by Hudson Mason. Sit down right in between the defenders. Watch Bennett sit down, give a good target. Perfectly timed throw.
Georgia goes with a hurry up. Mason trying to sneak it in. And now a touchdown signal. Good job by the Georgia offense to go in a hurry. And Hudson Mason from a yard out.
Well, little page out of the Clemson playbook. Get a first down, line up and go fast. They caught the Clemson defense not ready to play. And Hudson Mason, very simple play. The safest play you can run, a quarterback sneak. There's no exchanges other than the center quarterback. and he got a good push into the end zone. And we're getting our first look at Deshaun Watson also, the young freshman quarterback that they believe is the future. We knew he'd play some tonight.
Georgia native, his first snap, and he'll run with it. And he runs well with it near the 30-yard line. Deshaun put up ridiculous numbers in high school. Over 13,000 passing yards, 4,000 plus on the ground, and just had a sensational high school career. One of the top dual threat quarterbacks in the country coming out in this his freshman season. C.J. Davidson, he's got a first down.
And
good,
just
tough run.
If you're watching, just so you know, this is not a reflection on Cole Stout. The coaches said knew they were going to play Watson. Watson knew he was going to get to play. I think it's just a little change of pace because he's a little bit more of a dual threat guy.
Clemson took the early lead. The Dogs back-to-back touchdowns at the end of one. Lead 14-7.
His confidence back, get him back involved because he's going to have to be a playmaker for you.
Deshaun Watson going to go deep. Airs it out and knocked down on a ball intended for Jamon Hopper. Watson showed his arm there. Might have been a little bit short.
Because Watson had to sidestep a little pressure, he was late making this throw. I mean, you got to throw this ball up before the safety can become a factor. See, now it's double coverage, and you could have made a point that there was contact or a grab of the jersey, but because the throw was late, it enabled two guys to converge on the ball instead of just throwing against one-on-one.
Howard will empty the backfield. Watson going to go deep again. He's got a man. Perfect throw to Mike Williams. Todd just mentioned it, and that one was right on the money.
See, he's too big of a factor for your offense to get down on him. So you go right back to him. You give him another opportunity. Great release off the line of scrimmage to get separation from Damian Swan. And then Watson with the perfect throw over the outside shoulder.
That was pretty. Inside the 31 for Clemson, first down. 29-yard pass play. Watson wants to go back to the air. Boy, he's fired it, isn't he?
Wow. Touchdown.
Sharon Peak. What a throw. 30-yard laser shot. Touchdown, Clemson.
Best decision for you, because at the end of the day, you got to wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and say, this is the best decision for me. And, you know, I had the same situation, but we talked for a long time, and there was a lot of confusion. He wanted to go back and forth, but ultimately he made a great decision, I believe.
Georgia on a third down and short, and I don't know if they got there. I think it's going to bring up fourth down.
See, the key thing if you want to go fast is you have to make first downs. If you go fast and you go 3 and outs, then that kind of defeats the purpose. You go fast, you got to make some first downs. Right now, a critical third down situation for Cole Stout.
And this one's big for the Georgia defense for the opposite reason. Trying to get a stop on 3rd and 5. The heat coming. Stout fires, and it is caught. What a catch by Artavis Scott. Trying to regain the lead at the 28-yard line. Stout pumps one way and coming deep to the left side.
There's a penalty.
And a flag at the 1. This one will be on Devin Bowman.
Well, I mentioned last year this Georgia secondary had all kind of problems. And there's clear early contact before the ball is even there this time.
Tigers have got the Dogs on their defensive heels right now at the 13-yard line. They fake the fly sweep, and now Stout in space. He'll keep it. Stout with a slide at about the 6.
Really good decision. Really good decision by Cole Stout. You're in scoring territory. You're in definite field goal range. If you don't like what you see, just get positive yardage closer to the goal line.
Georgia fans trying to make it difficult for the Tiger offense at the 3-yard line.
Same formation. They bring that running back in motion, fake the sweep, and run quarterback power.
And they do again, and we got to wait on this one. I think he's still short.
Yeah, this time he tried to run to the opposite side of the formation. They showed the same look, but instead of running back to the left on the quarterback power, he tried to follow the right side to get the first down.
Now you got a decision. 4th down and length of the football in a tie game. As you said earlier on that opening drive by Clemson when they got it on 4th down, but they were at about the 1 foot line after a 70-yard march. This one's a little different story. 4th and less than 1. You'll know by the reaction here in a moment whether the Tigers get it or not. This time he got it.
Yep.
So somewhat of a gutsy call. The ball came out at the end of the play. He did see the ball come out after he landed on his back. Right at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal, Tigers. Whoa. Davidson picks it up. Trying to head to the corner. Georgia will meet him before he can get there. Loss of a yard.
So you know what happened here? Cole Stout was under center, and I think the center thought it was a shotgun snap, and that thing squirted out to the side. The center, Ryan Norton, he snaps it like it's a shotgun, I think. This time they went under center, and it's a bad exchange. Watch, that ball didn't even come close to hitting Cole Stout's hands. And Clemson is very, very fortunate that they still have the football. The last time they were under center, they didn't get a good exchange.
Davidson airborne and in, touchdown Clemson.
He's the high jumper, right? Or long jumper?
Both.
He jumped right over the goal line on that one.
He didn't have to do a triple jump. It was an airborne long jump from a yard out. So Clemson's regained the lead now. A 68-yard march in 10 plays, capped off by a 1-yard touchdown. And Todd Gurley, they keep him out there as a kick return man. They probably should have had him out there offensively on the last series. Georgia getting kind of cute with their offense. I'd give it to number 3 a few times if I was them. Gurley 5 yards deep, and Todd will bring this one out. And there he goes. One block and it might be over. Todd Gurley, coast to coast. Can he make it? Yes, he can. Touchdown. The great equalizer, Todd Gurley. The second career 100-yard kick return for a score.
Well, Georgia last year was the worst in the SEC in both kickoff returns and punt returns. We have already seen, even before that play, big improvement in their return game tonight.
I don't know what Homer Simpson would say about that, but he's a Homer Simpson guy. He's watched that all week long. He's got 5 Simpson watches, including the one he was wearing that his sister gave him in our meeting yesterday. But he has lit the crowd at Sanford Stadium. Complete out to Humphreys. He's not going to get anywhere. Got a flag down.
Well, thrown in the area where it could either be roughing the passer or holding.
Roughing the passer, number 7 defense. 15 yards, first down.
Lorenzo Carter, the highly touted first-year player out of Norcross, Georgia, and this one hurts. Put his helmet right in Cole Stout's face, and Cole says, I'll take it. I'll take the shot and I'll take the flag.
Very unnecessary. You see Tracy Rocker, the new defensive line coach, getting after him a little bit because it was well defended. They forced the quick throw. They were out there to stop it short of the first down, and you give them a free set of downs just because of a mental mistake by a young player.
First down at the 43. And now on the sweep, Howard all bottled up again. Floyd got a piece. Kimbrough got a piece. And so did Reggie Carter. Hopper was in motion, now sets up on the slot to the right. Stout going that way, and it's intercepted by Aaron Davis. A redshirt freshman walk-on who Jeremy Pruitt said he's got size, he can run, and he makes the first big play of his career.
Well, and Aaron Davis played corner all spring. He started at safety tonight, so he's got very good coverage skills and ball skills as a former cornerback. That time he just read Cole Stout. The ball was thrown late by Cole Stout, and Aaron Davis made him pay for it.
Now can Georgia regain the lead from their own 48-yard line? Keith Marshall is the tailback in the eye. They're just going to toss it to him. And he's going to be dropped for a loss. Great play defensively by DJ Reader. Mason, short throw, and Marshall dropped it. Thinking about where he was going to run with it and didn't take the football along. So a wasted turnover there by Georgia. Wilson made the tackle, but the Tigers are back in Bulldog territory.
Clemson with one timeout remaining in the first half.
Three receivers to the right for Stout. He's coming right back to the left, though, and that's to Williams down the sideline. One man to beat. And he's got it, first and goal, Clemson.
Well, that was really poor leverage by the cornerback on that side of the field.
Crowd again trying to make it difficult for the Tiger offense. Stout rolls, got a lot of pressure early and incomplete. So that time the Dogs brought some heat. Stout felt the heat, and the ball's incomplete. Lakeip from 34, and it's way to the left. Still at 21. Again, on that false start, they were going to run Gurley. Let's see if he gets the handle here. If there's a snap at all. And there won't be. So the clock runs out to end a good first half. A lot of big plays in the first half. Now it's Gurley up the middle. He's got a first down and he almost broke it. He did get to the second level. Again, Kearse had to make the stop, but a pickup of 9.
See, the thing about him at 225 pounds, if he has his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage, even if you have an unblocked man in the hole, it still takes a man to tackle him.
Mason fires on the sideline. Wide open is Bennett. Made one man miss, but then tripped. And still he's down to the 31-yard line. First down, Georgia. And now it's Gurley. First down, quite a bit more. Taking the linebacker Anthony with him for a ride of 11. Let's see if Mason goes to the air on 3rd and 7. Pumps over the middle. Bennett broken up. Bennett has hands on it. He might have run out of real estate either way. Robert Smith was there and is still down in the back of the end zone. It brings up 4th down and 7. And Marshall Morgan, you saw his numbers from a year ago, only missed 2. One was outside of 50. This is a 27-yard field goal attempt. And it's right down the middle. So the opening drive of the third quarter, Bulldogs drive it deep. Clemson made a stop, but still the Dogs get. Stout got pressure in the pocket. Wow, how did he get out of there? Didn't get the first down, though. Picked up 3 and took a pretty good shot at the end of the play.
Great inside rush by Leonard Floyd. He'd been kind of quiet. An outstanding freshman season. Watch number 84 split right between 2 linemen right into the face of Cole Stout. That forces him out of the pocket. And Stout did what he could, but came up short of the first down. But Leonard Floyd, with the quick inside pressure, busted up that play.
ESPN.com had him as a first-team All-American, and they only picked 3 linebackers. And now goes off and leaves their defensive line a little thinner. Second down and 6. Gurley broke a tackle. Another. Still on his feet. All the way to the 48-yard line. Another 19 yards by the big guy.
Well, and again, you're thinking right now, if you're Hudson Mason, game management. 3rd down and a long way to go. Don't get too risky. Don't take a bad chance of throwing into coverage. Get part of this yardage back if you can, and there's nothing wrong with punting the football. Obviously, if they give it to you, you take it. But if it's not there, get positive yardage, punt the football, and play defense.
Bennett, the bottom of your screen, has been his #1 target. They will keep it on the ground. And Chubb, the freshman, lost his hat. And he's all the way inside the 40. They told us he was a tough little son of a gun, and he showed it there.
Well, Mike Bobo's words were, he is a heavy runner, meaning when he hits you, he's got some pop to it, and he's hard to bring down. He runs with great leverage and a great low center of gravity, and you saw it all in that play right there.
Nick out of Cedartown had unbelievable numbers. The play is dead when his helmet comes off. Had unbelievable numbers in high school. Almost 2,700 yards on the ground and 41 touchdowns. So he's the future. He and Sony Michel. 3rd and 5. Stout inside his own 5 and in trouble. Had to get rid of it, just unloaded it. A penalty marker down.
That's holding. That's offensive holding.
They fake it to him, and Mason dropped the ball. And who's on top of it? Georgia's going to keep it. Clemson showing blitz off the corner. They bring the linebacker. Gurley picks that up, and the throw's out to Chris Conley. Good for 12.
Yep. Good decision there. 2nd down and long. Don't worry about trying to get all the yardage back in one throw. Now you give yourself a chance on 3rd down where run or pass is possible.
And it's going to be Gurley, and Clemson knew that was coming. Nice job by the defensive front. Kevin Dodd down to 2:39 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Might not be a bad spot for a called quarterback draw here with Watson. You've had a little trouble the last few 3rd down plays. You have a better dual threat guy in the game right now.
He's going to fire it on the sideline, but he went high this time, intended for Damari Kitt, another freshman. And he had Kitt actually open, but he overthrew him. Here they come. Going to throw it on the sideline, intended for Bennett, and Mason threw it out. Bennett was still running a streak, incomplete. So we got everything kind of tied together with our quarterbacks, both in the stands, in the booth, on the field, and on the Kansas City roster. And our congratulations, Aaron Murray, for making the team. This is Davidson, and he's got a 1st down. Nice run. Speaking of quarterbacks, Taj Boyd, from what we understand, did not make the Jets team as their cuts came out today. Taj, most prolific passer in Clemson history. I know he's probably watching the game, and Taj, I'm telling you, you're going to get a call if you haven't already, because you're too good not to have somebody have you on their roster or their practice squad, so keep your chin up. We played 3. Hug is loving it. Fans are loving it. Georgia's loving it if they can hold the lead. They're up by 3. Cole Stout under pressure. Down he goes. A flag down, probably a holding, and a sack by Josh Dawson.
Well, it's Leonard Floyd again. The sophomore out of Eastman, Georgia, drew 2 blockers. He's the one that created the problem in the pocket. And he was definitely wrestled down.
They're
going to take the sack, decline the penalty, because it's all the way down inside the 15 anyway. Whoa, it's getting noisy.
They're not going to get it off. I don't think, well, they called the timeout from the sideline. Cole Stout was not going to get the timeout called in time, but Dabo Sweeney did it for him.
And they ran out of time because the Georgia crowd, 92,000 strong, was so loud that Stout was trying to get the message to his offensive line and couldn't get it done in time. In for another earful right here.
Well, the guy who's been the disruptor is right here, Leonard Floyd, number 84.
Blitz coming from the secondary. Stout over the middle, caught but short of a 1st down as Wayne Gallman came out of the backfield and picked up 10.
Yeah. And if Stout could have hit him in stride, Gallman would have picked up the 1st down. Stout knew pressure was coming. He didn't get enough on that throw, and Gallman had to go down low to make the catch. Otherwise, Clemson gets a new set of downs.
Give it to him again, and he might be off to the races again. Todd Gurley, midfield. They've got the angle on him, but he's got another big one.
Well, this was a huge hole. Great blocking on the inside zone play. And watch John Theus, number 71, the left tackle, kind of get to the second level and pick off a linebacker. That's excellent blocking. Michael Bennett downfield getting a block. Good read by Gurley, but really good job by the Georgia offensive line climbing to the second level for blocks.
3rd down and 3. Big 3rd down for both teams here. Michelle trying to get to the edge. He got there, and he's down the sideline. He held on to that one, and he went the right way.
And see, that's tired legs on a defense versus fresh legs with a third running back. You keep pounding away, you wear them down, and the fresh legs get outside the defense.
5 straight runs, and with Gurley back in there, number 6 might be coming up because he's got his fullback Maxey in front of him. Just outside the 18-yard line. Hicks the H-back moving around. They're going to lead the way. Gurley broke a tackle. Gurley heading to the end zone. Third touchdown of the night for number 3.
And that was a complete breakdown by the Clemson defense. That was all Todd Gurley seeing a lack of coverage on the backside and turning it into a touchdown.
Extra point is good. And for the first time tonight, somebody's got a double-digit lead. Stout. Deep. And broken up. Aaron Davis hit him in the back. Looking for a flag is Seconder, but he's not going to get one.
Confidence in the Georgia defense has played a big part as well.
Georgia's got Nick Chubb, the freshman, in at tailback. They're going to toss it to him. Chubb running over people. Cuts back inside the 30. Chubb down the sideline. First Georgia touchdown for the freshman. The coaches kept telling us he's a tough guy to bring down, and Clemson didn't.
Well, and this Clemson defense played pretty well in the first half. They've run out of gas, I think, here in the second half. Missed tackles, missed assignments, missed gap responsibilities, and fresh backs. Fresh legs, fresh backs from the Georgia backfield has taken its toll.
Extra point good. 38-21. A lot of people said, hey, he played at a smaller classification. That's why he ran up such big high school numbers. Well, guess what? 47 yards for his first Bulldog touchdown.
See, just too many missed tackles. Now it's a great individual effort by Chubb, but this is a tired Clemson defense. You're going to see a couple guys, the center, David Andrews is going to come out here. Watch Bennett come inside and block, and then the fullback Maxey. These guys are all on their men. They're taking the angles away, and then 1 or 2 missed tackles, and a 5 or 6 yard gain turns into a big touchdown for Nick Chubb. They hit a couple throws in the first half. Nothing down the field to stretch the defense.
And Stout gets mugged by Floyd again. What a game 84's having.
Yeah, second half, he has really come to life. They've put him in different positions. They've moved him around, and he has created some problems. He's on another stunt. This time he's outside, just beats the right tackle. Joe Gore uses that leverage and that quickness to get to Stout.
Third and 16. blitz. Stout. Incomplete. Had to throw it from his own end zone, and he was backpedaling.
See, if you're a quick pass rusher, you love playing at home because your home crowd is going to make a ton of noise on a 3rd and long, and that offensive tackle has no chance against a speed rusher. That's why Vic Beasley had such a big night against Georgia last year in Clemson and has been relatively a non-factor tonight.
Georgia's got the luxury of being up 17, and they are playing with house money right now with 7:44 to go. Todd Gurley back in at tailback. The toss to him. And he broke free again, and Todd Gurley down the sideline and gone. I think he might be on his way to being an All-American. I'm sure Dad thinks so too. One Todd making another one happy. 51 yards, touchdown, and a new career high. Extra point is good.
Todd Gurley had 4 carries in the first half. He has gotten the ball often in the second half, and boy, has he made the most of his touches.
If you didn't see Todd and I right before the start of the 3rd quarter, when we were on camera, I said, how come this guy hadn't carried the ball more? I don't think the Georgia coaches were listening to us, but they have taken to number 3 and fed the big dog. Let's check in with Holly.
Guys, it has been so interesting to observe Todd Gurley on the sidelines tonight. He is a very quiet guy. He doesn't like talking to the media. He's even a little bit shy. But he has been engaged, very emotional, very energetic with his teammates. After his first long touchdown run, he went and sat in the offensive line meeting where the coach normally sits, gave them a lot of love. I've seen him sprint out to the hash marks to encourage the defense on certain series. And then when the freshman Chubb had his touchdown, he was right there, gave him a big, huge hug. He has been energetic, engaging, and so involved in this game.
Yeah, and on top of that, Ollie, he's been leading the cheers with a towel when the defense was out there at times, too, to the crowd.
Well, that's the 20th play that Clemson has run in the second half, and they've gained all of 32 yards. So 1 first down. It's just been a dominant defensive effort with the advantage of field position, but outstanding defensive play by Jeremy Pruitt's troops here in the second half.
Watching a lot of pressure on his shoulders right now, trying to make something happen. Just a freshman. And he's in trouble, and down he goes. And it's Leonard Floyd again. And if anybody's played as well as Todd Gurley has on offense and at special teams tonight, it's been that guy on defense.
Well, they just have Clemson where they want him. I mean, they know Clemson has to throw. The running game is really of no threat at this point. And so you attack the protections, you bring pressure in different ways, but you still play zone behind it. And that's tough for a young quarterback.
Yep.
And this again, 3rd down and 19, the longest 3rd down situation of the night for him.
And he's going down again. And it's Kimbrough this time. Nope, it's Herrera.
In the first half, Clemson was 7 of 13 converting on 3rd down. They're 0 for 7 in the 3rd quarter, or in the second half, and the last 4 3rd downs have been 3rd and 15, 3rd and 13, 3rd and 16, and that last one 3rd and 19. I don't even care if you had Taj Boyd and Sammy Watkins.
Yeah.
You're still going to struggle on 3rd down when you have that kind of yardage.
He's getting a breather now, as is Keith Marshall. And they're going to give the fullback a little sugar. Quavon Hicks down near the 20. Quavon, they got a little package for him as fullback. He's playing some H-back this year. They lost their regular fullback, Merritt Hall. Just had too many concussions, and his season and career at Georgia is over. And they really loved him because he was a great blocker leading the way for some of the tailbacks they have. So Quavon's kind of done the job tonight along with Taylor Maxey, and they both played very well. Under 5 minutes now, and The Dogs trying to milk the clock here a little bit.
Stay in the huddle as long as you can. You don't want to ruin your team's tempo and timing, but you want to stay in the huddle and use as much clock as you can.
And again, it's Hicks, and they give it to him again, and he rumbles for a pickup of 5 and a first down as we check in with Holly. Now they take Michelle out and they put Chubb in. And the fans are reacting to that because they saw what Chubb did the last time he touched it. When he ripped down the sideline, broke a couple tackles and scored.
Low center of gravity, runs with great leverage. And if the Clemson defense isn't ready to play on this down, he's going to run it right into the end zone.
3rd down and 7. They give it to him. He broke one tackle. He broke another. He's got a first down, I think. 228 pounds and on a 5'10" frame. And as Todd said, that is hard to tackle, especially when you're tired. He came up just a little bit short. Down under a minute and a half now. Great start for Georgia. They'll have a week off before they play South Carolina in a battle in the SEC East that who knows might determine who wins that side of the Southeastern Conference. Nick Chubb, counter. 1st and goal. Ranked number 12 for Georgia, and they're not going to hurt that ranking at all.
Not at all. You know, we expected them to, even though they had a new quarterback replacing a 4-year starter, we expected their offense to have some ability with the running backs they had. The big question was their defense. And it was questionable in the first half. Gave up 254 yards, but the second half, they have been dominant here at home.
Now the knee will go down for Hudson Mason, who said he was always dreaming about going across the bridge, looking into Sanford Stadium and waiting for his name to be called as a starting quarterback on his home field. He's made it a successful one tonight thanks to Todd Gurley and the Georgia defense in the second half. Mark Richt goes to 3-1 against Clemson in his coaching career. And in his 14th season gets off to a good start tonight. 45-21. Great start for Georgia. Clemson will have to go back to the drawing board a little bit. Don't forget, Wisconsin and LSU is coming up next. That's going to do it for Todd Blackledge and Holly Rowe. Brad Nessler saying so long from Athens as we send it to Sean McDonough. Sean?